time for any child has got to be middle school. Would you agree? That is, yes. Because right at the time when hormones are morphing their bodies and frying their brains, we throw them in with a bunch of other more fry brains, and we expect them to survive. Let me tell you something. Middle school for me was a hell ride the moment I got off the school bus. Brenda Brown spotted me like a lion spots the weakest antelope in the herd, and I was toast. Hadn't done anything but breathe, and she decided I needed to get my head knocked off. The notorious Brenda Brown. She was that kind of student even the teachers were afraid of. Anything went down in school, it was Brenda Brown. Smoking in the bathroom, Brenda Brown. Pulled fire alarm, Brenda Brown. Missing school bus, Brenda Brown. Let me tell you people something. I could take getting the tar beat out of me every day. It wasn't anything that I got at home. Let me tell you something. When you are the youngest kid of a family sporting 9 older brothers, the trickle-down beating stops with you. Every day, right before lunch, bam, Brenda Brown. Second shift came right before I got on the school bus for home. Bam! Ow. See you tomorrow. Heck, it got to the point I just wait for her to get it over with. But one day was different. Before I got on that school bus, when she hit me, my glasses went flying. I was picking myself up, pulling down my shirt, getting my books, and I realized Brenda Brown had my glasses. And she was scratching tic-tac-toe in the lenses. And she threw them back to me. Oh, this was bad, people. If my daddy saw this, he was going to kill me. I can remember that long school bus ride home. And I sat in that seat and I prayed. I prayed so hard that that school bus would stall on a railroad track. And we would all die in a fiery blaze. And my daddy would never know. A couple days went by and nobody realized I wasn't wearing my glasses. Then one night at the supper table, my mama goes, "Etta May, where's your glasses?" I froze. A pea rolled off my fork and crashed to the floor. You see, people, my daddy could smell fear like most people smell bleach. He looked at me and he cocked his head. And he grabbed my chubby little hand and he squeezed it hard. And we made that death march to the back room. That man spanked me with a belt to the point the poor guy got too winded and had to sit down. All the time doing that stroke talk. Do you know what I mean, that stroke talk? Yeah. Tell me what happened to those glasses. I think I scared Grandma. He had a stroke? When I finally confessed, let me tell you something. The disappointment on his face hurt a lot worse than that belt. He gathered the entire family up in the living room. And he got one of my brother's bozo punching bags. You remember those? The kind that had the sand in the bottom? And when you hit it, it popped back up. And he goes, "Okay, what's this first class you got with this Brenda Brown?" And I said, "Well, study hall right before lunch." He goes, "This is what you gonna do. Tomorrow I want you to go to the front of the class. I want you to tell your teacher to call that Brenda Brown up. And in front of everybody, in the loudest voice you have, I want you to yell, 'Brenda Brown, do you have a friggin' problem with me?'" But trust me, he didn't say friggin'. And then he said, "I want you to punch her right in the mouth." What? And then he said, "I'm going to stay home from work. And if I don't get a call from the principal by noon, I'm going to spank you within an inch of your life when you get home." What? And then he made me practice over and over again. "Brenda Brown, do you have a friggin' problem with me?" Bam! Next day on the school bus, my heart was in my head, just boom, boom, boom. But heck, people, at that point, I was between a rock and a rock. I did what my daddy said. Brenda Brown, do you have a freaking problem with me? Bam! She floated like a feather over the teacher's desk. Now, I could be wrong, but I swear Miss Mortice was giggling to herself as she drug us to the principal's office. I sat in Principal Campbell's office with Brenda Brown's mother and Brenda Brown. Brenda Brown's mom was thin and hard, and she shook as she lit one cigarette off of another. We sat in silence and we waited for my daddy. And then suddenly the door swung open, and there stood my dad like John Wayne in a gunfight. Principal Campbell said, "Milo, we got a problem." My dad said, "No, we ain't got no problem. That little girl right there's got the problem. Because my daughter's going to come and kick the living daylights out of her every single day." And Brenda Brown's mom stood up and said, "Hey," and my dad said, "And you shut your mouth or I'll have my wife come and kick the snot out of you." And then he said, "Etta May, go get in the truck. We're going to Dairy Queen." Brenda Brown never bothered me again. But do you know I think of that girl to this day every time I eat a dilly bar? My anniversary dinner, my husband actually took me to a very nice restaurant, very fancy ladies, and I'm not talking just a nice restaurant where you get a buzzer and wait. Oh, like I'm the only one that's ever eaten at an Applebee's. No, I'm talking a fancy restaurant, fancy French restaurant where you had to call ahead and make a reservation. Put your name in, hold your spot, kind of like tailgating. Okay? And we get to this French restaurant, and there's this real pretty girl behind a desk, a podium, and we give her name, and then she introduced us to the Matador. Now, he's the guy that takes you to your table. So as he's taking us to our table and we sit down, he goes, "Can I get you a glass of wine?" And my husband said, "Glass? Heck, bring the whole box. We're going to get this party started." All right? And then that Matador acted like he smelled something bad, and he just walked off. And I said to my husband, "Did you fart?" Because I did not. This is a nice place. Tuck it in, okay? Control yourself. And then the waiter come over, and he's dressed real nice, and he's got a little white tea towel on this arm, and he's got a bottle of wine in his hand. And he says, "Hello, my name is Maurice. I will be your waiter this evening. As it is, we are all out of boxes of wine. Hello! However, this is our finest house wine. I think you will enjoy it very much. So, monsieur, if you will, you raise your glass." And so my husband raised his glass, and the little French guy just poured just like a little swaller in his glass. And my husband went, "Monsieur, this is French wine. You must let it breathe. Swirl the wine around the glass. See how the light dances off the colors. Now, monsieur, I want you to take a sip of the wine, but do not swallow, no. Let the wine marinate your tongue. Let it slide from side to cheek to cheek." And I look over at my little redneck husband, and he's over there going, "Monsieur, this is Listerine. This is not. This is French wine." And I said, "Look, Pepe Le Pew, we're just trying to get our drink on. We could have had half a box done by now. That French wine
can breathe in my stomach. Fill it up. Then he gives us the menus. Couldn't even read those. But then he tells us the chef special was chicken colored blue. And I'm thinking, well, I ain't never seen that before. So we ordered the chicken colored blue. It comes, it ain't blue. It just looked like a fried chicken breast to me. Then it got weird. I cut into it, I take a bite. It's half chicken, half pig. Okay? Them Frenchies are crossbreeding animals in the back. Humane Society or something. If I want chicken, I'll order chicken. If I want pig, I'll order pig. But I ain't eating no chick pig now. We took off out of there, stole that bottle of wine, let it breathe in the truck. We ended up about 6 blocks away at Earl's Gas and Sip, eating gas station chicken and tipping back a box of wine on the curb. And the great thing about it is, one of the pieces of chicken I bit into was blue.
The other day, me and my husband, we sat at Applebee's, kicking back a few beers, eating some nachos. My husband got this funny look in his eyes, and he reached across the table, and he grabbed my hand very gently, and he goes, "Baby, you are my best friend." Oh, that dang near killed me. Do you know how much it hurts when beer shoots out your nose? That burns, idiot. Oh, heck, he knows he's not my best friend. My best friend is my friend Val. And she is my best friend because Val and I have made a promise to each other that if one day by some terrible circumstance one of us is in a coma in the hospital, the other one promises to sneak in and shave the mustache. That is a woman's best friend. Am I right? Yes. 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 Let me tell you something, girls. You leave it up to your husband, you're going to be laying in ICU looking like Yosemite Sam or something. I'd be so mad at my husband, I'd just wake up out of that coma just to go either pluck me or pull the cord. People are making fun of me. Nurses have nicknamed me Sasquatch. Val is my best friend. 300-pound black woman. Sorry, 300-pound beautiful black woman. Kind of black woman that walks into the room, her butt will come in 5 minutes later. Wearing a thong, baby. Woo! And working it. Why can't us white women feel about our weight the way black women do? Val ain't got no fat butt, man. She got junk in her trunk. She got more cushion for the pushing. And she knows how to handle men, too. She's always telling me, "Etta May, girl, you want to control your man, make him do what you want him to do. You got to control the sex. Just cut him off till he do right." She said, "Dang, girl, check it out. One time I had a boyfriend of mine cut my yard at 3 o'clock in the morning, get some of my time." So I did it. I cut him off. Yard ain't been mowed in 3 years.
Them Frenchies are crossbreeding animals in the back. My anniversary dinner, my husband actually took me to a very nice restaurant. Very fancy ladies. And I'm not talking just a nice restaurant where you get a buzzer and wait. Oh, like I'm the only one that's ever eaten at an Applebee's. No, I'm talking a fancy restaurant, fancy French restaurant where you had to call ahead and make a reservation. Put your name in, hold your spot, kind of like tailgating. Okay? And we get to this French restaurant, and there's this real pretty girl behind a desk, a podium, and we give her name, and then she introduced us to the Matador. Now, he's the guy that takes you to your table. So as he's taking us to our table and we sit down, he goes, can I get you a glass of wine? And my husband said, glass? Heck, bring the whole box. We're going to get this party started. All right? And then that Matador acted like he smelled something bad, and he just walked off. And I said to my husband, did you fart? Because I did not. This is a nice place. Tuck it in, okay? Control yourself. And then the waiter come over, and he's dressed real nice, and he's got a little white tea towel on this arm, and he's got a bottle of wine in his hand. And he says, hello, my name is Maurice. I will be your waiter this evening. As it is, we are all out of boxes of wine. Hello! However, this is our finest house wine. I think you will enjoy it very much. So, monsieur, if you will, you raise your glass. And so my husband raised his glass, and the little French guy just poured just like a little swallow in his glass. And my husband went, fill it up. And he goes, no, monsieur, this is French wine. You must let it breathe. Swirl the wine around the glass. See how the light dances off the colors. Now, monsieur, I want you to take a sip of the wine, but do not swallow, no. Let the wine marinate your tongue. Let it slide from side to cheek to cheek. And I look over at my little redneck husband, and he's over there going, no, monsieur, this is Listerine. This is not. This is fresh wine. And I said, look, Pepe Le Pew, we're just trying to get our drink on. We could have had half a box done by now. That French wine can breathe in my stomach. Fill it up. Then he gives us the menus. Couldn't even read those. But then he tells us the chef special was chicken colored blue. And I'm thinking, well, I ain't never seen that before. So we ordered the chicken colored blue. It comes, it ain't blue. It just looked like a fried chicken breast to me. Then it got weird. I cut into it, I take a bite. It's half chicken, half pig. Okay? Them Frenchies are crossbreeding animals in their We need to call the Humane Society or something. If I want chicken, I'll order chicken. If I want pig, I'll order pig. But I ain't eating no chick pig now. We took off out of there, stole that bottle of wine, let it breathe in the truck. We ended up about 6 blocks away at Earl's Gas and Sip, eating gas station chicken and tipping back a box of wine on the curb. And the great thing about it is, one of the pieces of chicken I bit into was blue. Anybody got a teenage daughter at home? How old? 16. Let's pray. Oh, my daughter's 15. Boy, you don't send these little girls to school with the right kinds of clothes, they become outcasts amongst their peers, don't they? Going to school became a stinking fashion show. Back me up. We're school shopping, okay? My daughter tells me she's going to need new blue jeans, okay? I go to Walmart. I get her new blue jeans. Well, you think I her lunch bucket or something. She walks them up, she throws them back in my face. She goes, Mother, what are those? Your daughter sound like that? What the heck is that? And all teenage girls seem to think the sound is a word. That's the only response I get anymore. Hey, I told you to get off the phone. I don't know if I'm raising a kid or a cat with a hair problem. You ever get this one? Whatever. Don't you want to punch her in the face? Talk to the hand. Oh, you don't talk to my hand. Come on. Woo! Open up a big can of whoop ass on you, didn't I? I put my Tybo tape in. I'm taking her down. She pulled on me last week. Talk to the left, because you ain't right. She got some balls, don't she? She will be sorely missed. I hear that stuff 2-3 times a day. Hey, you're not wearing a mini skirt and army boots to school, change your clothes. Whatever. The teenage translation? And I got cellulite. Any women in here got cellulite? Oh, look around this room. We drop our panties, half of us look like we slept on a waffle iron, don't tell me. Now, this little cutie, that your husband, is this your wife, sir? It's your what? It's your daughter. I'm from Kentucky. Just don't do 23andMe is all I'm saying. It's your daughter. Well, you're very, very sweet, sweetheart. How are you? Yeah. You look terrified right now. It's okay. You're so sweet and cute. Do you even know what cellulite is? Kind of looks like hail damage on a car. Just. Here, I do it slow motion for Daddy. How many women in here have cellulite? Yes. We are sitting on a waffle iron. Dang it. Having cellulite's dangerous. It truly is. You ever sat on a wet toilet seat? Oh my goodness. I've done that before, and I've suctioned to the lid. Just get up, I hear the sound. Look in the mirror, got this big lid hickey on my butt. No. Okay, be honest. How many women in here will not sit on a public toilet seat? Yeah. Teresa, you will not sit on a public toilet seat. How come? Because it's dirty, right? You know why? Because women like you are pissing on the toilet seat. You are the first domino. And can I ask you what you're doing in there? Are you doing like the hula hoop while you're paying? 16. Is she dating? Not yet.
You need to wake up and smell the condoms, don't you? We got us a Jerry Springer show down here. That's what we are. Have you had the little birds and bees talk with her yet? Uh-huh. You learn anything? I wish I had a pad of paper when I talked to my daughter. I went to my daughter, I was very upfront with her. I said, now, honey, just be honest with me. Are you sexually active? No. Ew. I just kind of lie there. Turns out my daughter thinks playing hard to get is wearing a 3-hook bra. Of course, that confused the shit out of you, and it's getting... Yeah, snap her neck, get her bra off, wouldn't you? She wears sports bra. Heck, you could be there all night, couldn't you? Gosh dang, baby, what'd you have? Your laminated or something?
Yeah, we got some white trash pour in here. We're gonna do the white trash pour test, all right? If you were white trash pour, your TV went through 6 phases before you were able to get a new one. Think back. Phase 1, tornado knocks the antenna off the trailer. Oh, there's some of you. Phase 2, you had to put foil on the bunny ears. Oh, look at them rise. Phase 3, you're the bunny ears. Phase 4, somebody loses a knob on the channel changer. Phase 5, somebody loses the vice grips. Oh yeah, look at them multiply. And phase 6, you knew you were true poor white trash. When the console TV became the TV stand for the next TV. Yeah. Poor white trash. Grew up poor. Some banker came along, gave me credit. Now I'm in debt. Anybody else in debt? The pool is full. Called one of them debt counseling hotlines. I don't know if this is a bad sign, but I told the lady my situation. She just started laughing and hung up. You know, and I try to handle my money. I see this Susie Orman lady on TV, on Oprah. You see her, girls? Yeah. The one that looks like she got an air hose up her butt or something. I'm Susie. She's freaky. She always jacking her mouth that you need to save 10% of your income. Save 10% of your income. Now, I don't know where she comes from. But where I come from, you get your paycheck on Friday. You got money left over on Monday, you call in sick. You still got partying to do, people. I don't understand finances. I don't even understand why our country's in debt. I don't get it. Why are they in debt? Why is the most powerful nation in debt? We print the money. Print more money. Heck, add third shift if we need to. You got to plan for your future. This is how white people plan for their future. Honey, you think 3 cases of beer gonna get us through the weekend? If you're a responsible parent, you have a will. Like, what do I need a will for? What am I gonna leave my kids? Heck, once Rent-A-Center gets done going through the house.
Only thing that's gonna be left is a dirty kitty litter box, a can of Spam, and this blouse. My retirement plan is the same as my daddy's. 65, I'm gonna get all liquored up, go out, punch a cop. Yeah, that's an easy 5 years, 3 hops and a cot, people. Heck, my daddy's 70 now. He's done it twice. He called it reinvesting. Oh, heck, he loves prison. He does. I mean, think about it. You get free health care. He says the food's better than my mama ever cooked. Has a big exercise yard. He don't have to mow. And he's so dang happy, he got his first prison tattoo. Oh, it's neat. It's right here in his arm. It says, born to poop.
And my husband, he works at one of the largest thoroughbred horse farms in the world. And we raise in Lexington the greatest thoroughbreds in the world. And my husband's a groom for a thoroughbred. And truth is, he's just shoveling poop with a bunch of Mexicans. And I mean, let's call it what it is. And he's just shoveling poop out of a stall. But he's a groom. Okay. He called me up and he said, and I guess a stallion was in his stall, and my husband walked around and he kicked him. Yeah, and this horse is 17 hands high, and he kicked him, and he broke his leg. Well, I don't know that, and I said, oh, walk it off. Stop being a baby. Rub some dirt on it. Get back to work. I had no idea he was calling me from the ambulance. And he had me on speaker. So I looked like, you know what I looked like. And so I run up to the hospital and I meet him there, and it's a pretty bad break, and they're gonna get ready to take him into surgery. And then the hospital started asking us all kinds of stupid questions. It was weird, and they said, do you have an advance directive? And we said, no. And they said, do you have a living will? And I said, no. And they said, do you have power of attorney? And I said, Judge Judy? And she goes, well, do you at least have a DNR? And I said, what's a DNR? And she said, do not resuscitate. And I said, oh, I want one of those. Give me one of those on him before he goes under. Give me a DNR. So now my husband's off. He was off work for about 3 months. We started talking and having that talk that is uncomfortable to have, and we realized we don't have our affairs in order. We do not have our affairs in order. And my husband said, look, we're both in our 60s and we need to get our affairs in order, We need to get these papers and stuff. Translation ladies, you need to get our affairs in order. All right? So I run around town like a wild woman, and meeting with lawyers and stuff like that, and getting all the papers and learning about this stuff. And I got to giggling with the lawyer because he's going, these papers are very important, and your estate and where you want your estate to go to and stuff. And I got to giggling, and he goes, ma'am, is there something you don't understand? And I said, no, you don't understand. I said, look, what am I going to leave my kids? I mean, once Rent-A-Center gets done going through the house, only thing going to be left is a dirty kitty litter box, a can of Spam, and this blouse. Okay? And so I'm handing all the papers to my husband, and he's just signing them. sign. And I finally hand him the last piece of paper, and he signs, and then he went, let me see that. What was that? And I said, well, that's life insurance. And he goes, let me see it again. And he goes, that's $500,000. And I said, yeah. And he goes, that's $500,000. And I said, ooh, look who's doing calculus. And then he said, why is it only on me? And I said, honey, you have the most dangerous job. I truly doubt if Miss Manners is going to charge the stage and trample me to death. You're not going to do that, are you? No, you might show me how to properly use a fork, but it ain't going to get dangerous. So I didn't realize how it would change our relationship. It truly did. It changed our entire relationship, because now, when my husband and I get in a fight, now I just stand there and they go, yeah. Yeah, I did that. Oh, boy, I'm sorry. And then when I'm done hearing him jack his mouth, I just go like this. I just go. It rained, Daddy. As I watch Dateline and all those cop shows with a notebook, I write down good ideas.
PTA don't like me none. Heavens to Betsy, you take a 12-pack of bud to a PTA meeting. Oh, they get real pissy. I figured out what PTA stands for. Permanently tied ass. That's what PTA stands for. Head of our PTA's name is Mrs. Doffinball. And the only reason she's the head of our PTA, she's raised most money in the bake sale for the last 3 years. Well, whoop-de-doo. She makes these little dessert squares. She calls them Doffinball family dessert squares. Secret family recipe. I found out last year she puts Grand Marnier in the dessert square. Skeeter, you know what Grand Marnier is? It's booze. It's liquor. Well, heck, I didn't know you could spike this stuff. I showed her this year. I made brownies. Happy brownies, Grandma. I raised $3.5 million, people. They have to rename the school after me. Etta May High. Well, it's good to be back in the South. I've been out of the country for a while. I was in Los Angeles. It's good to be home. You know, the people out in California aren't like Southerners. They're not nice. I mean, we're nice to each other. We say hey, wave at strangers on the street. Oh, they'll wave at you. I was working on a TV show out there, and one night the producer took the whole cast to a Hollywood party, and there's lots of famous people there and stuff. And nobody was really talking to me, you know? Shut up. So I'm just standing off in the corner over by the dip and not dip. He's getting all excited. They's giving out free skull.
Hollywood people know how to party, don't they? Calm down. I'm standing over by the dip. A woman started walking towards me, and apparently she's some famous actress, and I didn't know who she was, but her name's Angelina Jolie. Do you know who this woman is? Well, I didn't know who she was. And if you don't know anything about this Angelina Jolie, she got big, huge, swelled up lips. No, she got big lips now. And I was just trying to make conversation, you know? And I said, "Dang, woman." What the heck happened to you? You get in a bar fight or something? You allergic to bees? She said, "No, I just had my lips done." Do you know what that means? Yeah, the big hairs, they know what that means, don't you? Yes, you do. She said, now I ain't making this up, back me up. She said that a doctor sucked fat out of her butt and injected it into her lips. What is the matter with LA women? She said, "I wanted to have Michelle Pfeiffer lips." I said, "You got Mick Jagger lips is what you got." She goes, "Well, I don't expect you to understand. You're from the South." I said, "Woman, I'm about to teach you how to pluck a chicken." I stood up for the South. You bet I did. You dang right I did. I got right back in her face. I said, "Yes, ma'am, I am from the South. In fact, I'm from the great state of Kentucky. And we're all better than you. I'm better than you. I've been on Jerry Springer twice and seen 3 UFOs. Yeah!
I have to say I was very excited when he joined that band, the Philharmonic. Well, I'd never heard of Phil before, but hell, I like a harmonica as much as anybody, you know. We went to the concert, there wasn't one harmonica in the band. It's all like a bunch of violins and cellos and stuff. And they call them symphony concerts. And let me warn you something, especially you, Skeeter. Going to them symphony concerts ain't like going to a real concert. It's not like going to one of our concerts, okay? I mean, it's not like going to see Merle Haggard or George Jones, all right? First off, what I realized at these symphony concerts, they don't tailgate before the show. What's up with that? I had an entire cake and a grill in the back of the truck. We never touched it. Another thing, at these symphony concerts, they don't do the wave. Me and my husband tried to get that started 3 or 4 times. Like, woo, come on! Come on, girl, get up! Okay. And heaven to Betsy, you yell out a request. All I said was, "Hey, Play the Devil Went Down to Georgia, woo!" And then I realized, I should have brought those brownies.
I don't know about you ladies, but none of them designer clothes ever fit me, especially them jeans. You know, they don't make them for real women, do they? It's just either they're too baggy in the back or I'm walking around with a camel toe or something like that, you know. You know, isn't it gross? I just cannot get them to fit right. I tell you what, I'd make $1 million if I came up with some new jeans. And I know what I'd call them. Easy Woo jeans. And this would be the commercial campaign. Easy Woo jeans. For the woman who likes to have sex,
but not with her pants.
Now, my husband, I love him, but I'm still gonna kill him. And my husband is what I call hypochondriac. You know what I mean? Aren't men babies for the most part?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's a divorced woman right there. Yeah. No, my husband, a hypochondriac. He just don't get a summer cold or allergies or no. It's COVID. And last year he had COVID 742 times. You can't get COVID 4 times in a day, okay? And anyway, he's just a hypochondriac. And then, oh Lord, he discovered WebMD. And this is dangerous. It's dangerous stuff for a hypochondriac. And we's fixing to go to church. And he walked in the bedroom and he had this terrible look on his face, and he said, "Baby, I need you to sit down. There's something I got to tell you." And I said, "Okay." And and I thought maybe my daddy died or something. He sat next to me on the bed and he held my hand and he goes, "Baby, I got some bad news." And he said, "I have sickle cell anemia." And I let it simmer. And if you don't know what sickle cell anemia is it's a terrible disease. It's a painful disease, and there's really no cure for it. It's a blood disease. But only black people get it. Okay? Let me back up. I was raised Italian Catholic. Okay? Now, Italian Catholic, our Mass was in Latin. Okay? That's how Catholic we are. And when I first moved into the trailer park, first woman that greeted me was Val, and she welcomed me to the hood. But she's black. Val is black, and Val's husband Marcus is black, and their 2 sons are black. Not like you see on commercials nowadays, where the man is black and he's married to a Mexican, and for some reason they got a Chinese kid and a redhead. Who is doing the casting on these commercials? So anyway, first thing people say, ask you in the South is, do you have a church? And I said, no, we don't. And so she invited me to her church. And they're Baptist. And so I went to church, and my husband had to work that night. And so I went with Val. And it's an all-black Baptist church. And we are the token white people. It makes me feel special. And so I'm sitting in a pew, and I've never experienced this before. And the Reverend was named John, too. And I'm sitting there. Now I'm Catholic, and I'm sitting there. And there's a lot of men in our row. We're in the very back row. There's a lot of men, and I figure their wives are in the choir. But let me tell you people something. If you ain't never been to a black Baptist church, you gotta go. Oh my goodness, everybody in the choir sounds like Whitney Houston. It is a party. It is so much fun. you know, it's so much better than the stick up your butt Catholic mass. And so I'm sitting there, and that's my first Baptist thing. And then I got scared because they started yelling at the reverend. And I'm thinking, you know, it's like a woman just stood up out of nowhere and said, "Yes, Reverend John, you praise his name." And I'm thinking, oh, I left my concealed carry in this. We're going to have some stuff go down. And other people started heckling, and I'm going, what the? Can you imagine doing that in a Catholic church? Oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. Can you imagine going, yeah, Father Ryan, swing that smoke. Woo! Wee! Yeah, get that holy water on me. Yeah, anoint me. Oh, wet t-shirt concert. Get on. Come on. Yeah, give me that cracker. Body of Christ. Body of Christ. No, it don't go down that way. So anyway, that's the difference between Baptist and Catholic. And so I'm sitting there, and he gave a fiery speech. He called the Holy Ghost. I mean, it was woo, and I felt it. I felt the Spirit in me. And then he goes, we're gonna let the choir sing, and our special soloist today is Miss Washington. And all the guys in my row went, oh man. And the big black guy sitting next to me, and I said, what? And he goes, man, we're gonna miss kickoff. And that's one thing about the Catholic Church. Father Ryan dropped it on a dime because he had money on the game too. You know, and we in and out, hour, drop it. And I said, what game? And he goes, the Bengals. And I said, well, that's a night game. And he goes, we gonna miss kickoff. And then she was going to sing my favorite song, Ave Maria. Now again, I went to a Catholic church. So this is how Ave Maria goes in a Catholic church, okay? It's like, Ave Maria, o tol santo, e melodia, o talo ciebie, o lagnato, campal soteva. Oh, good Lord. In a Baptist church. Miss Washington stood up, had to be 300 pounds if she was an ounce. And she starts with Ave Maria. Goes a little something like this. Help me out with this, okay? I say, ah. I say, ah. Say, ah. And I turned to the Miss Kickoff. So, I forgot to use this. So it was during the summer when my husband told me he had sickle cell anemia. And it just so happened, Val, who lives right across the street, she was going to have a family barbecue. And some of the church people were coming, and Reverend John was coming. And so I waited. Because I'm just setting him up. And I'm going to get him back for that chlamydia. I'm going to get him back for every time he's embarrassed me. So I wait for everybody to get their plate full. Yes. And I turned to him and I said, we're all in the lawn chairs, and I said, honey, don't you think it's about time that you share with Val and Marcus your news and the situation we find ourselves in? And I just thought he would just have Val and Marcus come over and he would say it and we'd have a nice laugh and they'd call him a dumb cracker and it'd be over with. And oh no, my husband stood up like he was going to do a TED talk or something. And he put his plate on his lawn chair. And Val and Marcus were all the way across the yard. And he goes, Val! Marcus! You're my brother, man. You're my brother. And everybody here is family. You've made us feel like family. And I have to share something with you of what we're about to go through. And I need you to pray for me. I need you to pray. And he said, I've just found out I have sickle cell anemia. Chicken and ribs went everywhere. Oh my goodness. Lawn chairs flipped over. Grits was hanging off of beautiful hats and people are rolling, dying, and dogs from everywhere came and was eating ribs and grabbing the chicken and taking, and it just was, and I just sat there. But what was so beautiful about it, Reverend John did not skip a beat. He said, Delbert, come forth. And a bunch of giggling black people separated like Moses in the sea. And he said, Brother Delbert, and he put his hand on his head and he said, Brother Delbert, we're going to cast this demon. We're going to cast this demon out of you. Everybody, I want you to pray for our brother. And there's snot bubble laughing. And he goes, we're going to pray for our brother. And we're going to cast this demon out of him. We're going to cast it out. Lord, be with us today. Help our brother. Help our brother Delbert get out of this terrible disease. And I cast it to the wind. I cast it to the heavens. Be gone! And my husband fell back. And the other church people caught him. Like it was an old-fashioned tent revival.
The only unfortunate thing is now my husband walks around saying he was healed by the Holy Ghost from sickle cell anemia.
Can I tell you how to save money on the girls' clothes? Figured this out myself. Write this down. Go them flea markets where they sell the counterfeit designer clothes. It's kind of like it, but it ain't really. This entire school year, my daughter's been wearing Tammy Hilfiger. Thank goodness she can't read. Can I tell you how to save money on the girls' clothes? Figured this out myself. Write this down. Go them flea markets where they sell the counterfeit designer clothes. It's kind of like it, but it ain't really. This entire school year, my daughter's been wearing Tammy Hilfiger. Thank goodness she can't read.
I have fought my weight my entire life. Where's anybody ever fought their weight there? I mean, and it's hard. It's hard, and I'm 60 years old, and I'm so sick of it. And you know what? I decided I ain't gonna diet no more. I'm 60. I don't care. I've decided I ain't gonna diet anymore. Here's my new technique. I'm just gonna go get fatter friends. That's genius. That way, when I go out to party like you people, you know, it's like, well, I ain't no size 2, but at least I'm not Janice. Look at all the women sitting in groups going, oh man, I'm Janice. Oh my goodness. No, now that I think about it, I have had a massage before. I worked on a cruise once, and they have a spa right on the cruise. And a woman gave me a certificate for a hot rock massage. Did you ever get a hot rock massage? Yeah. Tracy, you ever had one? Oh, hey, howdy, baby. Oh, it's nice. For those of you who don't know, a hot rock massage, it's just like a regular massage. They get you all buttered up, but then they put these big hot stones on your back, and oh my goodness, the tension melts away. It's very sensual, isn't it? I'll be honest with you, girls. Woke up my happy spot. Now, I've been married 42 years. I ain't felt my happy spot in, 42 years, yes. But the masseuse was telling me that couples massage can really kind of perk up a marriage. So she gave me some pointers and stuff, and oh man, hey howdy. I got home, sent the kids out to play in the slip and slide, hot July day, yeah. Locked that trailer door. Put on a little romantic music, little Johnny Cash. Yeah, I hear that train a-coming. Massage oil per se, so I just used some Crisco. No, that melts real good. And I got some gravel out of the driveway. Heated that up for about 10 minutes in the microwave. Hindsight being 2020, might have been 9 minutes, 45 seconds, way too long. Because, boy, when that hot gravel hit that Crisco covered back hair. It was a heck of a grease fire. Thank goodness they had that slip and slide going. To this day, he still smells like burnt plastic. How many women in here have cellulite? Yes. We are sitting on a waffle iron. Dang it. Having cellulite's dangerous. It truly is. You ever sat on a wet toilet seat? Oh my goodness. I've done that before, and I've suctioned to the lid. Just get up, I hear the sound. Look in the mirror, got this big lid hickey on my butt. No. Okay, be honest. How many women in here will not sit on a public toilet seat? Yeah. Teresa, you will not sit on a public toilet seat. How come? Because it's dirty, right? You know why? Because women like you are pissing on the toilet seat. You are the first domino. And can I ask you what you're doing in there? Are you doing like the hula hoop while you're peeing? I've been out in Los Angeles shooting a sitcom pilot, which is very exciting. And they flew me out there, and it takes about a week to do a sitcom pilot, or almost 2 weeks. And they put me at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Woo! Yeah, pretty nice. And I tell you what, the first night I got there, I was so nervous and stuff, and I was scared, and I was trying to read the script, and I thought, you know what, I just need to chill, you know? And I thought, well, you know what, I'll get a couple of beers, go sit in the jacuzzi, and just chill out. So I'm sitting in the jacuzzi, and I got my case of beer. And it's beautiful. I'm chilling out, and then I started picking up nickels and quarters and pennies. I got up to about $27.50. That's what the police report said. I guess there's a big difference between a jacuzzi and a fountain. So watch for that. And a little life tip. And you know what? If the show gets picked up, I'm never going to stay at the Beverly Hills Hotel again. I do not like those people. I just got sick of people asking me for more towels. Yeah, and they were trying to be very nice to me because they knew I was like a fish out of water. So a few of the producers' wives asked me if I would like to play tennis at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And if you're a woman, you play tennis at the Beverly Hills Hotel, there is a dress code. You must wear a skirt. Oh my goodness, people. I was chapped. But from my room to the tennis courts, I had to start walking like John Wayne, you know what I mean? It was like, and thank the Lord they had baby powder. Because I had to chalk up, baby. Chalked up. Then she said, love, love. And I went, I'm married. And she served the ball. And when I hit it, a cloud of dust. It looked like my crotch was doing cocaine. Okay?